Are here live at Radio Row with the man, the myth, the legend, Shawne Lights Out Merriman, owner and operator of Xtreme Lights Out. Shawne, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's hectic day, crazy, but it's also cool, right? Because I get a chance during the season talk to a lot of people here, so you get an opportunity to kind of put a face to a voice, right, over the phone, and it's always good to catch up with everybody, this week.
Shawne, should we just jump into it? Just talk about it already? Jim Harbaugh, with the Chargers.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Well, you want to talk about that little thing?
Yeah, why
that's going
not?
on over there?
I think he had something to do with it too.
I was going to say,
He said he was
he
going to
told me.
barricade.
Yeah.
He was going to barricade and not let him leave the building.
This is the thing. I think that this is a win on both sides for the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, right? I mean, I know that people saying, "Hey, Chargers won," and which they did. They got a great coach who got a history of turning things around relatively quickly. So the Chargers definitely did win, but also Jim Harbaugh, he won.
Yeah,
because he was already looking and has talked about a few different times of getting back to the NFL, playing, coaching on that level again. Also talking about his love and what he thought of Justin Herbert. Right, he's been talking about that for a while publicly. And how many times do you get a coach that comes from college, right, just making a move, to jump to the NFL, that has a franchise quarterback already? It has a wide receiver like Keenan Allen, Derwin James, Bosa, like Khalil Mack, right? And it's just Mike Williams when he comes back healthy. It just doesn't happen. So I think that at the end of the day, this is a match made in heaven for both sides. I think that both sides won.
Yeah. Well, Shawne, and you spoke about that, and I mean, this is one of the bigger coaching signings that they've had in a long time. So how excited are you to see just what Jim is going to bring, especially coming off of winning a national championship? And then I wrote about this, and I said, the thing about this is you have an owner who he says he's starving for a championship. You have Jim who he's a little bit on a redemption road. I mean, he lost to his brother a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl. And then you have a quarterback who, I mean, I don't know why he gets all the hate that he does, but a quarterback that wants to win and wants to take his team to the next level. I think it's a perfect marriage, like you said.
It is, man, for a lot of different reasons. And two, Jim Harbaugh's history is turning around organizations and programs immediately. And I mean, in the blink of an eye, like he does that quick. But how many times do you get a chance to come in and turn things around with this level of talent?
Yeah.
Because the teams he turned around before didn't have it.
Yeah.
They didn't have a star quarterback. Like they didn't have the intangible. So yeah, I'm not we're going to the Super Bowl excited, right? I'm not that, but I am excited because there's a newfound energy back in the fan base that's been missing the last couple of years. That part is 100% happening. You look at the Chargers social media team is great over. They got they got the best social media in the NFL. So they're eating that up with Jim Harbaugh. But two, it establishes a faith back in the organization and the fans again, right? Because I think the Chargers did a great job, man, at bringing a lot of those fans up from San Diego and then reestablishing the fan base in LA. But also, too, if you're not winning games and you got a coach there that's not really suited for that position, you can lose the fan base. So I think it cures a lot of problems. And it's only something good can come out of that from how they finished up with Coach Staley.
Shawne, people always talk about the partnership with Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh, but how about defensively, the physical game, the discipline, just, being tough, gritty defense? I feel like the Chargers haven't had that, but they have so many great players, like obviously Derwin James, you got Bosa and Mack. We'll see what happens with their future with the cap space and all that. But from that point of view, on the defensive side, that being your specialty, how do you feel what Jim Harbaugh will do there?
I think that Jim Harbaugh gives them an identity that they've been missing. One thing I've seen, I was at every home game. I was at every home game. When you go to the games, you like, which team going to show up? Are they physical team? Are they finesse team? Are they a speed team? Are they power? Like you didn't know what type of team they was. So I think automatically an identity gets established at the head coach position. It ultimately is going to trickle down into the locker room. And we've seen it more so than ever with Dan Campbell and what he's done for that team. The mentality he instilled in these guys now is getting passed down to the locker room. Jim Harbaugh's the same way, right? He's going to establish a mentality, to run the football, be physical, be efficient, no turnovers, and that all starts, as he said, which I love the most because I'm a meathead, right? I love the gym, love the weight room. That this starts today by going in the weight room, going in the off-season workouts and competing. Yeah. Because it starts there. Don't talk about Super Bowls, don't talk about playoffs. Let's go get this work today. And that's what he's established.
Speaking of the work, Friday, February 16th, you got a busy day that day, don't you? You have an event out in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Just talk a little bit about Lights Out and Extreme Fighting and everything, and how you've taken, because we talked to you last year, and you were really excited about the upcoming year, and then now, obviously, at this point, just how has the company grown, and how excited are you?
Yeah, we got a huge event February 16th, next Friday in Long Beach, California. Lights Out Extreme Fighting 14. You can get your information at lightsoutxf.com. We'll also be live on Football TV, Football Sports. You guys don't have football out there, make sure you get it. But I think more importantly, the growth that we've had in the last 3 or 4 fights, 70% jumps, 90% jumps in viewership. We're airing a week later on Bally's and Amazon Freevee and a couple of other platforms, but this has become like more global now, man. And that to me, I mean, to be known playing football here in the States, where U.S. obviously NFL is big, but people are watching us in Canada now, and they're watching us in certain parts of France and Spain, right? And so we're starting to establish a little bit of a global ideal for us, and that's where we wanted to be. And also, this fight is big because we're testing out these new Lights Out Tech gloves that can measure speed, power, punch, impact, G-force, all that. So this is the first fight that we're going to try to get as much data to the fans as at home watching our fights, and you can tell when a guy's getting hit, the power that's coming behind it, and how much information we can get to the fans at home. And I think that's really, really cool for us on a lot of levels. But just advancing this sport, man, just bringing something else that hasn't really been executed well. And then giving the fans more information. I love the fan engagement and fan interaction that we have, and I think that's most important to us.
How hard can Shawne Merriman hit?
Well, look, I tested out on the bag. I haven't tested out on the person yet, so I don't know if that G-force that I did would actually knock anybody. I'm sure it would. I'm sure it could, but I haven't tested them out on a person yet. Just on the heavy bag and stuff like that. But I would like to. I mean,
who's willing to be the test dummy to get Shawne Merriman?
I'm not opposed to testing them out on the person.
Shawne, being on both sides, the NFL and the MMA world, and being in the fight capital of the world in Las Vegas, how cool is to see a Super Bowl in Las Vegas?
It's great, man, and I think mainly because Vegas has become like an entertainment capital of the world, right? They just had F1 here. They're having so many big events. They had the draft and stuff, so they got a chance to test it out to see what is what. And now we're seeing that Vegas is equipped for a Super Bowl, right? It just is. And so to see everybody come in from all over the world, man, like everybody wants to come to Vegas, right? Like I don't care where you at in this world, everybody wants to get to Vegas at least once a year. Everybody. So it's a fun week for me. Obviously doing a lot of press media and stuff like that, but also too, we got a massive game.
And Shawne, I just saw a comment because we're watching live, or people are watching live. They're like, "Hey, I would be honored to take a hit from Shawne Merriman." So people, want to get
Listen, if you want to sign a waiver, and we can do it. But that's hey, look, I'm open.
Shawne, in 2006, I know I'm taking you kind of back at WWE One Night Stand. I remember you hit somebody with a kendo stick. Do you remember that?
Chavez?
Yeah. Just how much fun is that kind of stuff when you guys get to do interactive stuff? Because obviously you're on the field and everything, but doing that side stuff, like how much fun is that kind of stuff?
It's great, man. Because look, even though I play football, it's still a world of entertainment, right? I mean, we're entertaining the fans, the people to show up to the games, the people that's watching us at home, and they want to see their best team, their best player play ball. It's still entertainment. And growing up a WWE fan, that's the kid inside of us all, that I don't care who you are. I don't know. I don't think I've met anybody say, I didn't watch no WWF growing up. Now it's WWE, but I've never heard it. And so, I got a chance to host the WrestleMania that was in New Orleans, be on the One Night Stand on the pay-per-views and do some SmackDowns and Monday Night Raws I've hosted. And to me, honestly, I love being around it. I still train with the guys. I was just talking to my boy Mojo Riley the other day, who went to the University of Maryland, who should be out here this week. I'll catch up with. But I talked to a lot of the guys, and a lot of people are still working there, and you never know.
Oh,
you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Wow. Shawne, I know you're really good on the mic, but if you ever need a mouthpiece, I'm right here. I'll be your Paul Heyman.
In case I need a Paul Heyman.
Yeah, we could take this over, Shawne, just you and me. And you have the perfect celebration for after you win the fight too. So
we're gonna do this. The guy that commented, I can punch him in the face, right? We'll start there.
There you go.
So you could come in and manage that.
There you go.
Right, and then we can go from there.
Work our way up.
That's right.
Shawne, just go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, and I was gonna say, and it feels like you have such a good handle on entertainment. You know about entertaining the fans. The fans, I remember they loved you when you were in San Diego, and now everything that you're doing. But what is that entertainment aspect is what you've brought to extreme fighting, is my belief and what I've seen.
Yeah, appreciate that. And then too, one of the things I love, because I'm on a production side of things, right? I've been in TV and all that stuff for a long time. So when somebody comes and say, man, you guys' production is off the chain, they love the look and the fights and stuff. The fights got to be great. They got to be entertaining. Guys, we got some guys that just flat out scrap, and they're trying to get to that next level. Sometimes when you get to the UFC and stuff, it's not as big because these guys are trying to get there.
Yeah.
So we got all the next up-and-coming superstars. That's one. But two, when you're going somewhere, like, man, I just saw you guys, I was at a bar, I was at a lounge in Mississippi, and you guys were on TV, and I'm like, man, you guys' fight looks great. So that, to me, is just as important as the fight and as any kind of success you can have, because people actually love what they're watching.
Yeah, one of the coolest things about being a fight fan is like you don't really care about the magnitude of the card or who's the superstar. Like you get there, you maybe order a beer, you're kind of on the ring side or cage side. It's just a great time. I'm guessing for you, like the atmosphere is pretty, kind of those intimate vibes, but also you might see some blood kind of flying over a little bit too.
Yeah, we get about 1,500 to 2,000 people technically to our fight. I mean, at some point in time this year, we'll go to 2,500 or 3,000 or whatever. But I'm not interested in going into arenas and things like that. I just, for me, it's about having distribution and more eyeballs, and people can see us on your devices in your hand, your home devices, and different places where we can be accessed so people can watch us. That's what most important to me. But you're right, man. When you get in those intimate crowds, you might have someone's cousins and their uncles and their gyms, and like it gets intense. I mean, you feel that pressure in there because you're fighting in front of friends and family, and by the way, they're about 25 feet away from you, right? And so you all know you can't lose a fight in front of your family.
No, you cannot. Shawne, just last few things this weekend. What do you see from this game? Who do you like in this game?
I think that majority of the people want the 49ers to win, right? I mean, I'm just being honest, right? Yeah. Because, and not to hate on the Chiefs, it's just that they're actually approaching that level where they're so good that people come to see them lose. I think that they're getting that mentality because they're so good. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, they're so good that people kind of show up now to see them lose. And I think that 49ers have a better story, right? With Brock Purdy and he's not a lead, and he's Mr. Irrelevant, all the stuff that just created about a guy that's playing in the biggest game on Sunday, which is ridiculous to me to have that conversation. But I can't see the Chiefs losing. Yeah. They just been here too much. They've already played two teams that were better than them. The Bills were, in my opinion, were better than the Chiefs, and so were the Ravens, and they beat both of them. The 49ers are better than the Chiefs. So we'll see, but I just can't. I can't see KC leaving with a loss.
One more from me, Shawne,
yeah.
and I got to ask you this question. I know you do a lot of media interviews, so maybe you forgot about this, but you were here last year, and you gave us a good take, but a lot of Cowboys fans weren't happy about it. I don't know if you saw this video, but you said Justin Herbert is better than Dak Prescott. And I know it wasn't the best season for the Chargers and Justin Herbert, but a lot of people, they're chirping, and I know the Cowboys lost in the first round, so I don't know what your take is a year from now, Herbert and Dak Prescott.
He's still better than Dak. So take that, Cowboys fan. I hope y'all listening out there, because he's still better. He regressed, right? I mean, this past season, because I think the team just didn't do well, right? He got injured also too, but the team just didn't do well. He didn't look that good. I thought no identity. They couldn't find a rhythm. They were barely winning games. They probably should have blown teams out. Scoring 6 points against the Patriots. All that stuff is just a horrible way to go about it. And we'll see what Okay, Dak Prescott went to the playoffs, had a great year, went to the playoffs, got bounced. He'll get a max deal and possibly get bounced again next year. So we'll see.
Last question for us. What is your message to Raider fans?
Yeah.
And then what's your message to Charger fans after that?
Well, I'll start with the Raiders. I got no message for them other than I need you to lose twice a year, right? I mean, my boy Antonio Pierce, I think the world of him. I think that he has the possibilities and the upside to being a great coach for a long time. I love these former guys getting opportunity. Yeah. D'Amico Ryans, Mayo, I love these former guys getting opportunities. Harbaugh, right? The former players that get into those roles that actually end up being very good coaches is breaking the mold of what guys can do. Now, for the Chargers, I want everybody to hold their horses, right? Forget the Super Bowl talk or whatever. Let's be the best team in the division. Because the best team in your division is also the defending Super Bowl champs. So if you're the best team in your division, there's a big possibility it's going to be a lot better than that, playoffs from this point on. But hold your horses. Let's be 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, and we'll get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Shawne, lights out, man. Can you give us what? Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much, Shawne, for joining us.
You got it, man. Thanks for having me.